Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Taylor, co-owner of Vegan Proteins Online Coaching. And today we're going to be talking about metabolism and what a lot of people get wrong about it. Metabolism is always a really hot topic of conversation in general, certainly amongst my clients. These are conversations that I have a lot about metabolism, what it is, what yours is like, how can we improve it, are we destined to just deal with slow metabolisms forever, etc., etc. So first, let's talk about what metabolism is. A lot of times we just think about it as our ability to burn fat or gain weight, right? But metabolism is actually all of the series of chemical processes that happen within our body that burn energy. Another word for energy for humans is calories. So it's the accumulation of all of the chemical processes in our body and how many calories they burn on the whole. It's not just any one particular thing that contributes to whether or not we are a fast burner or a high burner or a slow burner, because there's really thousands of chemical processes going on. That said, there are some that we have control over. So the reason that I wanted to make this video is I have a question in all of my questionnaires for all of our clients, and it is, do you think that you have fast, slow, or average metabolism? And the vast majority of people click slow. Now, that can't possibly be true. By definition of what average means is most people are going to be average and some outliers are going to be fast or slow. But for some reason, a lot of people just think they have a slow metabolism. So I just wanted to dive into this a little bit more and see what the research actually says, and some of it was really fascinating. Our rate of metabolism peaks at age 1. So if you are watching this, we are already past our prime, folks. However, I think a lot of people think it starts at age 1 and just like does this for the rest of your life, and that's not true. It's actually not true at all. So from age 1 to age 20, our metabolic rate decreases by about 3% per year from age 1 to age 20. Then it stays the same until age 60. What? I can already hear you guys being like, what do you mean your metabolism does not slow down between age 20 and age 50? Now, the way that they calculated this assumes all things are equal, right? Your body weight stays the same, your muscle mass stays the same, your body fat percentage stays the same, and they found this to be true across both men and women. So when all things are equal, metabolism stays the same from age 20 to age 60. After that point, it starts to drop by about 0.7% per year. So from the age 60 to 95 years old, if we're all that lucky, there's a 20% drop from age 60 to age 95 when all things are equal. Okay, that's the really important part, when all things are equal, right? So why is it that so many of us feel like our metabolism has slowed down by age 30, by age 40, by age 50? It's not because our rate of burn actually has gone down. It's because other factors in our body or in our lifestyle have shifted significantly. So I'm sure some of you can relate to this story. How many of you were really active in sports in middle school and all the way through high school, and then you got to college and didn't do any more sports and started to gain weight and thought like, oh, my metabolism has changed, my metabolism has shifted, when in reality it's that you used to do quite a bit of activity during the week, and now in college you're not doing as much, you're much more sedentary at that point. This is a super common story. Or let's say you graduate high school, go to college, you do stay active through college, you become kind of like a gym rat in your 20s, and then in your early 30s you have kids and your whole lifestyle changes. You are getting to the gym way less frequently. You are moving your body outside of the house way less than you were before. or you're 40 and your kids have gone off to college and you're no longer running around driving people to and from different meetings, concerts, events, and you're just not moving as much. These lifestyle factors, or any combination of them, you went to a job on your feet, to a desk job, all of these things are going to change your caloric burn so much. I actually have a client right now who we didn't change her calories at all. Like, she was taking in the same amount of food over the course of a year, and we couldn't figure out like why all of the sudden the scale was going up. And then it occurred to us that the promotion that she had got at work had her working on her feet all day to working at a desk all day. So when calories that she was taking in didn't change at all, that equated to about a 10-pound gain over the course of a year. Now, it doesn't matter because of the particular goal we were working towards, but still it was interesting to be like, oh, there it is. To look back through the lifestyle and say, that's what happened right there, was that lifestyle change. And that was a pretty clear one, but sometimes they're not always that clear. Sometimes your job title doesn't change, but the number of hours you're working increases and you're just sitting at your desk more often. Or the mental demand is so much higher that you get home and you're just like on the couch for the rest of the night because you're exhausted mentally and you're just not up and moving around anymore. So this is what plays a tremendous role on decreasing your caloric burn, which is your metabolism slowing down. It's not. Pound for pound, it's the same. Minute for minute of activity that you're doing, it's still the same. You're just doing fewer minutes of activity. Other factors that play a role, like I mentioned with that client, if your activity is slowing down but your nutrition is staying the same, your weight is going to go up. Now, if your activity is going down and your intake of food is increasing, your weight's going to go up even more. So this is why I think it's a good idea to, even if you don't track your food on a regular basis, to occasionally do an audit of what you're taking in, because sometimes those calories can creep up or down without us even noticing. And suddenly we realize, if you've been eating an additional, let's say 200 calories per day, that is going to equate to, that could be as much as 20 pounds gained in a year, which sounds insane, but listen, that's just how the math works out, okay? Also, decreasing muscle mass will slow down the amount of calories that you burn. So again, this goes back to when all things are equal, metabolism stays the same. So if you used to strength train and you stop strength training and you start losing muscle mass, your rate of burn is still going to be the same per the amount of muscle you have. You just have less muscle, so the overall burn is going to decrease. This is just one of the many reasons it's very important to make sure that you keep muscle mass on your body. Other reasons have to do with bone health, avoiding injury as we get older, and just quality of life into old age. There's so many reasons why it's important to have muscle. But when we're thinking about fat loss, weight gain, those sorts of things, the amount of muscle that you have on your body really does matter quite a bit. And when that decreases, it's going to seem like your metabolism has slowed down when really you just lost muscle. Another thing that I thought was very interesting is a lot of times we think about our caloric burn, our metabolism, as simply like the size of our bodies and the activity that we do. And when I say size of our body, larger people burn more calories, right? Just because it requires more energy to move that body through the world than it does for somebody who's smaller. But your brain, heart, liver, and kidneys make up 65% of your resting metabolic rate. Resting metabolic rate is the number of calories you burn doing nothing, just lying in bed. Thinking of it as a car idling. You are a car idling every time you're not moving. That's your resting metabolic rate. And your major organs make up 65% of that number. So they actually think that perhaps one of the reasons that metabolism does start to slow down at age 60 is possibly because some of those organs are not functioning optimally anymore. And that could have something to do with it. So even still, it has less to do with activity and more to do possibly with your actual organs themselves. So just wanted to put this new way of thinking about metabolism out there. Now, all of this does not negate the fact that genetics do play a role. Listen, some people were just born lucky and they burn hotter all the time. They burn hotter when they're asleep. They burn hotter when they're doing activity. And some people just burn a little bit cooler. They burn a little bit slower genetically. However, remember what I said at the beginning. Average is going to be the vast majority of people. The outliers on the end are exactly that. They are outliers. And way more people think they're outliers than is statistically possible. So, chances are you're probably average. You might not be. You could be an outlier. I work with a couple of outliers on both ends of this spectrum, and they both have their own struggles too, I might add. This person with a super speedy metabolism really struggles to put on weight, really struggles to put on muscle and keep that muscle. And of course, on the opposite end of that, this person has to eat pretty low calories in order to get weight off their body and move a lot. So they both have struggles. They are true outliers. I'd say 80% of my clients do fall in that average camp, and what they're burning makes perfect sense for their weight, for their muscle mass, for their activity level, for their nutrition intake. So usually most people will fall right there. Anyway, I hope this was interesting to you. I certainly find these sorts of things very interesting, and I would love to hear what you think about this. Like, have you thought that you had a slow metabolism? Because I have thought that I've had a slow metabolism in the past, and I don't. I have a very average metabolism, but for reasons, there were reasons that I thought that I had a slow metabolism, and I don't. And I think a lot of people actually fall into that camp where they think they have a slow metabolism and they don't. So let me know what you think. If there's any requests that you would like to make for videos, topics you want to hear about, leave them down in the comments below. If anybody is interested in any kind of coaching for vegans, check out VeganProteins.com. We have all different levels for all different needs. We would love to be a part of your fitness journey. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, all the things I'm supposed to tell you to do at the end of a YouTube video, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.